It's not legally or politically correct, but you can often stop a situation getting worse by individually isolating the other person and confronting them, win or lose, because you're then making it very, very difficult for them. Once they've established that you're prepared to have a physical confrontation with somebody, they then have to decide whether they want one with you. And even if they win, there's a good chance you'll have hurt them in the process. And they'll have to actually respect you as another member of the human race. There are areas, this is where you're talking about schoolboy stuff or rugby club stuff or that kind of thing. There are different situations when you go out into the street and strangers who may threaten your life. You don't know who they are. That's a different situation. And without the correct life skills or the ability to assess the threat accurately, your best form of self-defense is to leave, to run away, to get the hell out of there. And that's your best chance of success. You can deal with it another day at a different way and a different time. But, dealing with people, dealing with schoolmates and club mates and so on is very different from dealing for strangers in the street who may be part of a gang, may have a sharp weapon, and so on. The best form of self-defense with an unknown quantity is to leave it for another day. Don't get trapped into the honor society where you've got to be a man. That's there are different levels on places where doing the right thing physically is different. I have the ability from time and experience to assess a threat and deal with people as I find them. But I also have an awful lot of skills, even with my age, that I can revert to. But I'm quite good at anger management in the sense of, gently resting my hand on somebody's back or arm and saying, it's all right, don't get upset about this. Car rage is a favorite one. People get frightened by what happens in cars. And just getting out of a car when somebody's bumped you and saying, whoa, it's okay, no one's hurt, everything's fine. Let's just deal with the issue, shall we? We're all okay. Yeah, so you can move on rather than being scared and getting upset and emotional. Two things that people do when they're thinking. One is they emote and the other one is they think. When you're emoting, you're not thinking. And so if you train yourself to actually remove the fear, which is the predominant emotion with violence, out of your mind and deal with the facts as you see them and assess the threat, then you can start to behave in a reasonable way. People who swear a lot, they swear because they're emoting. Somebody swearing a lot, they're emoting, they're not thinking. If you can train yourself not to swear, it will help you to think in the right circumstances as well. So they're all disciplines, they're all processes that you go through. I mean, I did martial arts for 30 years. It was my profession until I broke my neck. And you're taking a discipline and you're putting it into one part of a human's life in order that they can then spread it into the other parts of their life as well.